to The Hypnotist, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. Brought to you by the hypnotherapist demanded by celebrities, CEOs, and even royalty, Adam Cox. These recordings took place live from Adam's clinic in London's world-famous Harley Street. So, get yourself comfortable and enjoy today's episode of The Hypnotist.
Does it ever feel like you're a marketing professional just speaking into the void? But with LinkedIn ads, you can know you're reaching the right decision makers, a network of 130 million of them, in fact. You can even target buyers by job title, industry, company, seniority, skills, and did I say job title? See how you can avoid the void and reach the right buyers with LinkedIn ads. Spend $250 on your first campaign and get a free $250 credit for the next one. Get started at linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply.
Hi, it's Adam here, and you're about to listen to a hypnosis session that was designed for a client that felt that their relationship had lost some of the love, connection, and respect, certainly that it had in the beginning. And both them and their partner didn't want to end their relationship, their marriage, but equally, they kind of knew that it wasn't giving them the same things that it did before. And what this hypnosis session is all about is about reconnecting with a certain level of self-respect that says, if it isn't as I want it to be, then I don't want it. And that doesn't mean walking away from something. It means discovering and evaluating, can it be improved? And if it can't be improved, then having that mental strength and emotional resilience to accept that and then move on. Because I think many people are stuck in relationships that they're not happy about, but they kind of feel trapped. And feeling trapped is a belief that there is no other option, but there is always an option. And this hypnosis session is designed to utilize that saying, you mend it, you don't end it. But if you can't mend it, then you have to end it. So if that feels empowering or useful, a willingness to reevaluate and see if you can regalvanize a relationship that once was good and may not be in the moment, then you might get some value from this session. Just be aware that some of these suggestions were very specific to the client that I was working with. Ignore any suggestions that aren't relevant, lean into the ones that are. And if you do like the idea of working with me directly, there will be a link in the description where you can schedule a free consultation call. We'll have a conversation, we'll have a chat over Zoom, and who knows, I might end up being your hypnotherapist. For now, though, find a quiet, comfortable place where you won't be disturbed, relax, and enjoy the session. Take a deep breath in. As you breathe in that feeling of quiet relaxation. And as you exhale, just allow any feelings of worry, stress, or tension to feel like it's leaving your body as you exhale. As you breathe in for deeper and longer. And as you exhale, allow the outward breath to continue when you would normally stop. Activate your diaphragm so each breath becomes deeper and deeper than the last. And maybe you start to notice that each breath brings a little more calm, a little more balance, and a growing sense of peace within. And as your breathing slows, allow your imagination to take you somewhere tranquil and serene. Perhaps a garden from your childhood in the early morning, where the air feels fresh and the sunlight is bright but not warm, and maybe the color of the sky is like a sunset, blues but oranges and yellows. And maybe you can imagine a ray of light touching your skin and just feeling like pure clarity. That's it. More and more comfortable, relaxed. And I want you to imagine there, in that morning garden, is a hammock between two trees. And imagine this as a comfortable hammock. And as you rest in the hammock, you start to feel like it's carrying all of your weight, enabling you to drift deeper into that place of pure relaxation. Breathing in not just the cool air, but a sense of quiet confidence, a sense of pure self-respect. Just breathe that in and exhale anything that feels unaligned. And I want you to imagine a path in that garden, maybe a path that was never there before. Imagine it made of cobbled stones. And as you walk, notice how each step helps you feel more grounded, more sure of yourself, more connected to that steady strength within. And as you go down the path, feel yourself deeper and deeper relaxed, knowing that your imagination is still there in the hammock, but a different part of you that craves change is walking down the path until you see an old oak tree, strong, rooted, and wise. And just imagine sitting beneath it, feeling the strength of its presence. Its roots reach deep into the earth, just like your values reach deep into who you are. And what if those roots are your truth, your principles, your sense of right and wrong, your understanding of what matters most? And as you connect with those roots, you feel your self-worth rising up from the ground, through your body, filling you with a quiet dignity and calm authority. And you can't help but get the sense that when you live aligned with your values, you can't lose. That whatever happens, you remain true to yourself. And somewhere near that large oak tree, I want you to imagine a pond or a pool, water, but very still, clear, reflective, and peaceful. And as you look into it, you see your reflection, but not just your face, your very essence. You see someone who has given, cared, supported, often without gratitude, and often selflessly. And in that reflection, you also see strength. The kind of strength that doesn't need to shout or demand, because that strength is rooted in self-respect. And you begin to realize that love without respect is like a tree without roots. On the surface it looks fine, but it can't thrive. And as you choose to respect yourself, perhaps more than ever before, what if you're giving your relationship a real chance to become one built on mutual respect and truth? As you go past the still pool, the oak tree, you continue on that cobbled stone path until it reaches a crossroads. One path is smooth and familiar, and the other rough, uneven, uncertain. And as you look closer, you notice something fascinating. The smooth path looks easier, but it ends up in circles, always taking you back to the same place. Whereas that rougher path seems harder at first, steeper, more demanding, a path less traveled. But as you take those steps, you begin to realize something profound. The path leads upwards. It leads somewhere better. Some people believe that sometimes it's the mild discomfort that you can tolerate that keeps people stuck in the same place, because it just isn't painful enough to provoke change. But when you do what's right, and even that isn't tolerated, perhaps when things become truly uncomfortable, that's often when the biggest transformations occur. What if that becomes a catalyst to reevaluate what you want and why you want it? And maybe a part of you begins to understand that even if things temporarily get harder, it may just be the turning point that leads to something stronger, freer, and ultimately better. You've avoided conflict, partly for peace and partly through love. But I want you to imagine a future where you no longer fear the hard conversations, the temporary discomforts, because you know they are signs of progress, proof that you are moving beyond the barriers, the blocks, the stuckness of the past. And I want you to imagine what feels easy just means more of the same, and what feels difficult can either mean things improve radically, or things change completely, taking your life in a place of peace and autonomy. And I want you to feel empowered knowing that whatever happens, whether your relationship improves or just evolves in a different form, everything will work out fine when you remain true to your own values. I want you to get a sense of a calm confidence, almost like a glowing light forming around you. And allow this light to represent your boundaries, your dignity, your independence. And I don't know how far this light goes beyond you, but just know that inside this light, you feel free to love fully, but never lose yourself. That you can listen and empathize, but still speak your truth. You can compromise without collapsing. What if real peace isn't found in avoiding conflict? It's found in knowing that, come what may, you can handle it. You've been through enough to know that you always find a way. Some people believe that you shouldn't end it, you should mend it. But if you can't mend it, then it's necessary to end it. And with that awareness, a new kind of calm takes root. The calm that comes from trust. Trust in yourself, trust in life. Trust that the right path will unfold when you honor and align with your truth. I want you to imagine going back to that still pond, that still pool. But instead of seeing your reflection, imagine seeing your future. And imagine the coming weeks and months. See yourself speaking with more ease, more calm confidence. See yourself finding it natural to express what you need without fear, without guilt. And notice your partner responding differently. See that version of you with more strength, more autonomy, doing things that you want to do. And maybe your partner sees that as a threat, or maybe an evolution. But even if there are moments of challenge, I want you to imagine yourself handling them with diplomacy, but a stoic refusal to compromise what you feel is important to you. Imagine yourself with words measured, a calm tone, and your decisions guided by your values. And from that place of alignment, things begin to shift, because that version of you does not desire the status quo. That version of you desires a change, perhaps more love, respect, and connection, or perhaps something entirely different. Not an ultimatum, but a reflection, a deep evaluation of what you want and why you want it. And maybe you see a future version of you instigating an intervention that will either mend it or end it, but doesn't allow things to carry on as they've been. This is an option, not an obligation. But if you see that future, see yourself with the expression of someone that is happy with any outcome other than things remaining the same. I want you to see that whatever happens, that version of you believes that life has a way of unfolding exactly as it should, in your favor, in your growth, and in your peace. I want you to imagine leaving the pool, walking away from that large oak tree back down the cobbled path, and seeing a part of you that's been asleep in a hammock all this time. Perhaps that was your conscious mind. As you step into your conscious, start to recalibrate with reality. As very soon I count from 1 to 10 to awaken you. You will awaken with a new feeling of self-worth and self-respect, and a willingness to do what needs to be done. So take a deep breath in and out. Start to wiggle your fingers and toes and connect and calibrate with the here and the now. As I now count from 1 to 10 to awaken you. Starting to count. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake. Thank you so much for joining me on today's episode of The Hypnotist. If you've enjoyed this episode or got some value from it, please give it a 5-star rating and review. And maybe you know someone that would also benefit from this particular episode, in which case share the episode with them so they can also get the benefit too. And if you would like to listen to this episode where it's just the hypnosis, so no intro, no outro, no explanation, just the hypnosis and completely ad-free, there will be a link in the description where you can subscribe at a very low cost and only get access to the hypnosis. So if that's of interest, please check that out. Thank you again for being a regular listener of The Hypnotist, and I'll see you again soon for more.